I've been really stoked about how many Japanese games are coming overseas for the Wii Virtual Console. These games have not seen the light of day outside of importers and emulators, and so it's exciting to see a whole new crowd trying them out. But Japanese games are known to be both difficult and in Japanese. So which games can you play without waiting for Nintendo to put them out on the Virtual Console? And most importantly, which ones are fun? Well, I'm going to show you one game this week that's a huge challenge, but it's fun, and the best thing is that...
Oh yeah!
Now, I was trying to think of a good game for my premiere episode, and I came across this. This is Game Center CX. It's a show in Japan where the host, Arino, a well-known comedian, is challenged to play old-school console games. One of the toughest he ever played was Kai no Boken, or Quest of Key. It was produced by Namco in 1988, and it's actually the prequel to the 1985 game Tower of Druaga. In Quest of Key, you play as Princess Key. The demon Druaga has stolen a magical blue rod and placed it on the 60th level of his mansion. You have been charged by the goddess Ishtar to retrieve the item. Why she can't go get it herself, being a goddess, I don't know. Anyways, she has given Key the ability to levitate. Note that this isn't the ability to fly, it's the ability to levitate. A big difference, which I'll explain later. Here's the controls. To levitate up, you push the A button. To perform the dash, you push the B button. Now you can mix the two, but be careful how you do that. If you hit your head on the ceiling, you'll hold your head and fall down straight like a rock. And you'll be stunned for a short time. Likewise, if you dash headlong into a wall, you'll get the wind knocked out of you, and once again you'll be stunned for a short time. But sometimes it's important to get knocked and stunned to get through a level, if you can time it just right. If you look at the upper right hand of the screen, you'll see the timer. This is how long you have to get to the key and get to the door that leads to the next level. Pretty simple. All you have to do is avoid the baddies strewn across the level, because if you touch them, you'll lose a life. Also, landing on spikes, which kind of look more like saw blades, will also kill her. To help you out, however, there are treasure chests that are in the different floors. Each one has a special ability, but it only works for that floor only. There's no key necessary to open the treasure chests, so it's kind of a freebie. Now, to effectively play the game, you really need to know what each treasure chest does, and since this game is in Japanese, here's a short and simple guide to treasure chests. Treasures range from a warp that sends you to a different stage, a present that gives you extra points. This S flag gives you an extra life, where this L flag adds to your timer. One chest makes your opponents fall asleep, while another stops them in their tracks for a short time. Protection chests make you either invulnerable for one hit, or invulnerable to red flames. The wave chest stops shooting enemies from shooting. The pearl and cross treasures remove specific enemies from the stages, but you don't find those too often. Same thing with the candle that lets you see invisible enemies. The only bad treasure is the poison chest, and that reduces your time greatly. It's only found in about 10 stages, so it's nothing to freak out about. But the best one is the wing treasure. Now usually when you press the A button and let it go, Key levitates and then falls, and you can't get her to rise up again until she touches the ground. The wings allow you to press the A button multiple times and actually have her fly. Now this game is a really fun challenge, and for me, it's the difficulty that brings me back to it. It exemplifies what old NES games are. They're fun with a gradual learning curve, and nobody's holding your hand through it. But like every game out there, this game does have its flaws. Mainly that the scenes where Ishtar or the dragon are speaking to you mean nothing to a non-Japanese reader, so they can get pretty annoying. Luckily though, you can skip over them. Unfortunately, the music is repetitive and can get on your nerves. Best to have something else playing in the background while you play this game. And like I said, some of the challenges are just really hard. I mean, I don't know what the Japanese are thinking. They must be really trying to get the most out of their yen for every game they buy, because these guys you work on for a long, long time. Now once you've solved the required 60 floors, you get to see the ending. It's actually kind of sad, as it shows the events that actually lead into the Tower of Drawaga. Like I said, this was the prequel. But you actually get 40 more stages after the initial 60, so you get 100 stages in all. Boy, those last 40 stages, those are a bear. They are so difficult to work through, and you can't warp through them. But even with having a set number of lives, you can always choose to continue as long as you don't turn the power off. On the bright side, dying by touching an enemy brings you back to the stage where that particular enemy may be gone. So sometimes dying at the hands of a monster makes it easier to move on. And don't be surprised if you see some Namco monsters making cameos in this game. It's so difficult, it's fun. And while I don't have 13 plus hours to work on this game in one sitting, knowing where warp treasure chests are really helps you out through this game. The gameplay is simple and straightforward, and for me, I really think that hardcore and casual gamers alike will really enjoy this game. So, to wrap things up, you will miss a bit of a semblance of a story, but it's not important to gameplay at all and is easily passed over. It can be played by anybody. This game is fun if you like a straightforward game that you can put down and come back to. No storyline may be a disappointment for gamers who like a plot. It's a classic style game that harkens back to games that don't hold your hand. It starts off easy and gradually increases in difficulty. A nice challenge for hardcore gamers. Got a friend who claims they're an 8-bit master? Throw this one at them and watch them hit their head and fall. The graphics are nothing too spectacular, especially for the time that this was released, but it really doesn't need high-tech graphics, but that can be a problem for some. Smooth and responsive. This game is all about the replay. Even knowing patterns won't help you too much. It just comes down to skill. Expect to pay about $4 or $5 for the cart alone. It's pretty common, so it won't be too hard to find, and it usually won't be too expensive. If you like a challenging game, try this one out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So thanks for watching, and be sure to leave written or video comments about what you thought of this episode, or even games that you might like to see me review in the future.